Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to possess unimaginable strength? Strength so immense that nothing on earth could challenge you? Imagine effortlessly defeating an entire army single-handedly, or tearing apart a lion with your bare hands. Such a gift might seem like the ultimate advantage. Yet Samson, the strongest man who ever lived, discovered that the greatest battles we face aren't always physical. Samson's story isn't merely one of legendary physical feats. It's a compelling narrative that dives deep into human nature, exploring our vulnerabilities, strengths, failures, and the ever-present possibility of redemption. Our story begins centuries ago, during a dark chapter in Israel's history. The Israelites were suffering under oppressive rule by the Philistines, a fierce enemy that dominated their lives, imposing fear, shame, and hardship upon them. The people longed desperately for a deliverer. In a small town called Zorah, a humble couple named Manoah and his wife lived in quiet devotion. Though faithful to God, their hearts carried a heavy burden. They could not have children. In ancient times, childlessness was considered a profound sorrow, sometimes interpreted as divine displeasure. Yet, despite their sadness, Manoah and his wife remained hopeful and faithful, praying earnestly for God's mercy. One seemingly ordinary day, their prayers were dramatically answered. An angel suddenly appeared to Manoah's wife with astonishing news. Though she had been unable to conceive, the angel revealed she would soon give birth to a son. But this son wouldn't be ordinary. He would be dedicated to God from birth as a Nazarite. He must never drink wine, touch anything unclean, nor cut his hair. These would be signs of his special calling. Through him, God would begin to free Israel from Philistine oppression. Overwhelmed and joyful, she rushed to tell her husband. Manoah, equally astonished, sought divine confirmation. The angel returned, confirming the incredible promise and guiding them on raising their extraordinary son. And soon after, the couple welcomed their miraculous child into the world. They named him Samson, meaning sunlight, reflecting the hope he symbolized for their nation. Even as a child, Samson was exceptional. His strength was unmatched, and as he matured, his reputation spread throughout Israel. Yet beneath Samson's physical power, he carried an internal restlessness. As a young adult, Samson's eyes wandered toward forbidden territory. Troubled, his parents pleaded for him to choose a wife from among his own people. But Samson stubbornly insisted, driven by passion rather than wisdom. Traveling to meet the Philistine woman, Samson encountered a fierce young lion. In an instant, God's Spirit empowered him, and he tore the lion apart effortlessly. Samson kept this incredible act secret, sharing it with no one. Later, Samson revisited the path and noticed bees nesting in the lion's carcass, producing honey. Curious, he tasted it, symbolically experiencing sweetness from death.
Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet.
He wagered expensive clothing, confident no one would solve it. Desperate, the Philistines pressured Samson's bride harshly, tearfully. She begged Samson until he finally revealed the truth. Feeling betrayed when his riddle was solved, Samson angrily traveled to a nearby town, struck down 30 Philistines, and returned with their garments to fulfill the wager. This violent reaction ignited a dangerous cycle of revenge and conflict. Heartbroken and betrayed, Samson abandoned his bride. Later, he learned her father had given her away to another man. Enraged, Samson plotted devastating vengeance. Capturing 300 foxes, he tied burning torches to their tails, releasing them into Philistine fields. The flames consumed crops, vineyards, and orchards, destroying livelihoods and sparking fierce retaliation. The Philistines, furious, brutally executed Samson's former wife and father-in-law. Samson, enraged and grieving, attacked again, killing many Philistines. Terrified of further consequences, Samson's fellow Israelites betrayed him, tying him up and surrendering him to the Philistine army. Yet once again, God's strength surged within him. Breaking free effortlessly, Samson seized a donkey's jawbone and single-handedly defeated 1,000 warriors, solidifying his reputation as a legendary hero. Despite his victories, Samson remained lonely and restless. His impulsive nature continually led him into trouble, jeopardizing his divine purpose. Eventually, he encountered Delilah, a beautiful woman whose charm captivated him instantly. Sadly, Delilah's affection was deceptive. Philistine leaders bribed her generously to discover Samson's secret. Repeatedly, Delilah begged Samson to reveal the source of his strength. He initially resisted, offering playful lies, new ropes, fresh bowstrings, weaving his hair into a loom. But Delilah persisted relentlessly, day after day, until Samson finally broke down emotionally and disclosed the truth. His uncut hair symbolized his Nazarite vow and the source of his strength. As Samson slept, Delilah betrayed him, cutting off his hair. He awoke weak, easily captured by Philistines who brutally blinded and imprisoned him. Chained and humiliated, Samson was forced into slave labor, grinding grain like an animal, a tragic shadow of his former glory. In the darkness, Samson finally saw clearly. Stripped of pride and strength, he reflected deeply, recognizing his arrogance, impulsivity, and need for God's mercy. Silently, unnoticed by his captors, Samson's hair began regrowing, a powerful symbol of redemption. During a massive Philistine festival celebrating their false god, Samson was mocked as entertainment. Blind and weak, he stood between two pillars supporting the crowded temple. In desperation and humility, he prayed earnestly.
God, remember me one last time.
Power surged through Samson, and he pushed against the pillars, collapsing the temple, killing thousands of Philistines along with himself. Samson's tragic yet heroic end fulfilled his divine calling, weakening Philistine dominance significantly. His life profoundly illustrates that true strength includes humility, wisdom, and spiritual maturity, not merely physical might. Reflecting on Samson's story, we recognize parallels in our own lives, battles with temptation, pride, and impulsivity. Samson's tale reminds us our greatest challenges are internal, requiring humility and reliance on God's strength, not ours. Ultimately, Samson's life demonstrates God's persistent grace. Even through deep flaws and tragic mistakes, God worked redemption. Samson's final act reveals that true strength emerges from surrendering our weaknesses to God, relying completely on His mercy and guidance. In our lives, we can embrace this profound truth. Like Samson, we're imperfect and vulnerable. But when we humbly acknowledge our weaknesses, turning sincerely toward God, we discover deeper strength, wisdom, and redemption than we ever imagined possible. Samson's story encourages us toward honesty, humility, and trust in God's grace. No matter our past mistakes, God offers hope, restoration, and purpose when we return to Him. Thank you for exploring Samson's compelling journey with us. If this message resonated, We invite you to subscribe, share, and join us again as we continue uncovering life-changing truths within these timeless Bible stories.